Investec Derby is the biggest race in the world.
Only those of you who have attended an Investec Derby festival know how difficult it is to say goodbye to Epsom, and it's no different this year. In fact, it's even more difficult because this year some extraordinary things happened. It started off with a filly by the name of Daddy's Little Darling, a daughter of Scat Daddy, trained by a wonderful man called Kenny McPeak, and we met his assistant, we met his wife, and it was a really tragic situation after all the preparation and everything that any man could have done to get a horse to the races, prepared, ready for action, and right at the 11th hour, their plans were thwarted, with Oliver Pellier having to take evasive action and jump off this filly as she hurtled headlong down the hill towards the starting stalls at the 1.5-mile marker. It was something that I have never seen before, and I certainly hope that I never see it again. But let's take you back to the stable, situated 120 metres from where we resided at the Holiday Inn Express, and meet Kenny McPeak.
Well, we've got a really nice filly on our hands, and she's been second in 3 Grade 1s, or Group 1s as they say elsewhere. And we want to win a Grade 1 with her, and we were fortunate enough to kind of think that, well, let's do the early nomination, and let's see how the timing came together. And she was doing extremely well coming out of the Kentucky Oaks, and I had a few options. It was wait for the Alabama in August or give her a try over here, and here she is. She's doing good too.
It's incredibly brave to think of going from the dirt surface that you're familiar with the daughter of Scat Daddy, who's of course by Johannesburg, to come to the grass of Epsom, probably more trickier course you couldn't find, but that's the very nature of what Ken McPeak's all about.
Well, I don't see it being brave. I think a good horse doesn't need to take a course with him. I don't think that, I think a good horse can handle about any surface. She's a filly that I think is going to relish the 1.5 miles. When she was young, we have a breaking system at my farm in Lexington where we do our own gallops. We have a turf course where we can go right-handed and left-handed, uphill, downhill. And she is very experienced at it, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think it's going to be a matter of whether she's good enough in this high-class company, and I'm pretty confident she will be. International racing is getting a little bit easier to do as well. You've got people like the British Horse Racing Authority who's encouraging it. You've got Adrian Beaumont who helps us with logistics. You've got IRT, the company that does the shipping. So a lot of that makes it's a lot simpler. Americans need to come this direction more because the Europeans come our direction all the time. And it just needs to be more of a habit as opposed to it being considered special. I believe that racing needs to do a better job connecting to the masses. I think we've got a sport that, everybody has a short attention span nowadays. To watch something on your phone in a 2 or a 3 or a 4 minute span's pretty easy nowadays. And I think horse racing's perfect for all that. I don't think you could watch a soccer match, or as you might call football, or even a baseball game or a basketball game. You'd go blind watching it on your phone. But to watch a horse race, to actually wager on it, watch it, put your phone back in your pocket, and go back to doing what you're doing, I think is ideal in this time, in this day and age. So I created the app Horse Races Now for some of you that may or may not know of it. And Horse Races Now, we're getting 10,000 new users every 30 days, and it's grown virally. And then we try to communicate with our users, a lot of things going on in the game. And I think our filly's going to go falling asleep on us here in my hand.
Well, that was the very, very next question I was going to ask you, because I've seen her trotting around behind the hotel. We've seen her go into the parade ring, obviously, where she was a little bit wired up, and then she relaxed, and that's the way she is. But she's got the most beautiful temperament. She's
really great in the stall, but when you put the bit in her mouth, it's game on. So she makes us work a little bit when she's got the bit in her mouth. But she's all class. This filly's got just a wonderful to be around, and very easy. And as you can see, she's quite relaxed. Now she's waiting for their feed time.
You've got one of the finest jockeys that the world has ever seen in Oliver Pellier. Lovely to see him in the irons. What gave rise to that?
I did not think bringing an American jockey for this race over this course was a smart idea, because it's so unusual. And how the first run up to the hill, then you've got the big turn, then you've got Tattenham Corner, and then you've got the angle that they have to proceed down the stretch. So, You really need a jockey that understands where to be and when to be there. Julian Leparoux rode her in the Kentucky Oaks where she was second, and I felt like a similar riding style would be good. And then, Olivier came open, and so we booked them out. And he came over, he loved her on Friday, had a really good canter with her, and I think we're all lined up. We're excited. She's done really well. She was really strong in the paddock. I mean, she's really on her toes. Once you put the bridle in her mouth, she's a different filly, but I think she's going to run well.
Very, very emotional because we've become very close to this filly. She's been right across the way from our bedroom window, and we've watched her train every morning, and we've become sentimentally attached to her. And our heart goes out to the owners that have come all the way from America. The lady that owns this filly chartered her own plane to come here, and now within seconds of entering the starting stalls, this filly has been withdrawn from the Investec Oaks. I don't think I've ever been broadcasting at a time when I felt so emotional about the commitment of these people and their hopes of having come to be part of history here at the Investec Oaks 2017, and now she just can't run. Once the announcement had been made that Daddy's Little Darling was not going to participate in the 2017 renewal of the Investec Oaks, the starter called the runners into line, and of course everybody was expecting Rhododendron to win the race for Aidan O'Brien and of course Ryan Moore after a particularly impressive performance in the 1,000 guineas at Newmarket. The form had subsequently been franked by Winter, but few reckoned on the genius of a man called John Gosden, the incredible and inimitable manner of Frankie Dettori, and the brilliance of this filly called Enable.
With thunder and lightning surrounding Epsom, they jump away from the stalls, uphill for the first 5 furlongs here at this early stage as they climb uphill. Isabel de Urbina towards the outside as they run through the rain, and Pocketful of Dreams is out in front, and it looks a brisk pace as they continue on this steep incline. On their way now towards the final mile, and Pocketful of Dreams out in front under Donica O'Brien, tracked by Sabetsu and William Buick in the all-blue jacket. Frankie has Enable in third. Then Rhododendron, the hot favourite. Ryan Moore in the dark blue jacket in 4th place, just towards the outside of Frankie Dettori. Then on the inside is Natavia, and Pocketful of Dreams is going to make this a serious test. 4 lengths clear of Sabetsu in 2nd place. Then Enable in third. Rhododendron with a clear run towards the outside of these as they now round Tattenham Corner, and it's Pocketful of Dreams by 5 lengths to in second, Sabetsu. Then Enable in the pink cap, Rhododendron going well towards the outside. The leader folding up and coming back to them now, about to be swallowed down by Sabetsu, by Enable and Rhododendron. And it's Enable and Rhododendron battling on here. Enable and Frankie Dettori in the pink cap, Rhododendron and Ryan Moore in the dark blue jacket, chased by Alluringly back in third. Both riders going for everything, and Enable is just getting on top from Rhododendron inside the final furlong. Enable kicks 2 lengths clear of the favourite and racing up towards the line. Enable for a 4th Oaks win for Frankie Dettori in the colours of Khalid Abdullah, and Enable wins the Oaks. Pulling well clear in the end from Rhododendron, Alluringly third, and Horseplay staying on in 4th.
It was a spectacular day's racing, and nobody will ever forget that crash of thunder and the bolt of lightning right near the starting stalls, and of course the incident with Daddy's Little Darling. But it's now time to move on to the Investec Derby, the world's greatest flat race, and everybody had always said that it was quite a difficult race to really assess, with a horse called Cliffs of Moher actually ending at the top of the bookmakers' betting boards, with Cracksman very close on his heels. In fact, Cracksman was favoured in South Africa, and he was favoured in the UK for much of the time until Cliffs of Moher displaced him at the top of the bookmakers' betting boards. A fascinating race, and some unbelievable form of the winner, called Wings of Eagles, ridden by Padraig Beggy, and of course trained by Aidan O'Brien, with some rather illustrious owners in that partnership. Let's pick up the running of the 2017 Investec Derby.
So Cracksman will make up the line under Frankie Dettori in the Anthony Oppenheimer colours. They're set to race, lined up, and they're off. Racing in the 2017 Investec Derby, Peeler was rather slowly away. Venice Beach amongst the leaders, with Best Solution and Douglas MacArthur going forward on the wide outside in the black sleeves, and now leads the way. Also going handy is the Anvil as they get across the course now, and Douglas MacArthur leading the way by a couple of lengths to the Anvil in second. Then in third is Best Solution in the all blue jacket, Permian in the silver silks, followed out wide by Venice Beach. Wider is Crowned Eagle. Cracksman just nudged along there by Frankie Dettori. Dubai Thunder the inside of Rekindling, and the front two going off very quickly indeed. A furious pace in the Investec Derby being set by Douglas MacArthur and Colm O'Donoghue from the Anvil in second place. Behind these in third is Venice Beach, and then on the inside in the all blue Best Solution. Behind these Cracksman is being asked to stretch now, then Permian. Down the outside is Capri. They're homeward bound with 3.5 furlongs left to gallop. Douglas MacArthur is loose on the field, chased by the Anvil, Best Solution. Then Venice Beach. Cracksman begins to find his stride, now beginning into second place and eating into the leader's advantage. Permian, Capri out very wide, Cliffs of Moher, and then Eminent. They race down inside the final 2 furlongs. Douglas MacArthur is chased all the way by Frankie Dettori on Cracksman, and here comes Cliffs of Moher down the wide outside under Ryan Moore, and he goes on sweeping past both of them. Eminent battling on too, then Wings of Eagles, Cliffs of Moher, Wings of Eagles swooping though, and Wings of Eagles gets up to win. Wings of Eagles denies Cliffs of Moher, and Cracksman fighting it out for second, and Eminence back in 4th.
Well, would you believe it? Ballydoyle have won. Was it their 5th string, their 6th string? They won't mind, they've done it again. Wings of Eagles at 40 to 1 has taken the Investec Derby, and what a day for Padraig Beggy, the man in the plate. He has won on the son of the 2011 winner Pourmois, the horse memorably ridden by Mikel Barcelona to Derby glory, and he has a Derby winner, Aidan O'Brien. I doubt he can quite believe what he has just seen in his long and storied career. That is something else.
Everyone thinks we've done this. We haven't done it. We've worked together with the Jockey Club. The Jockey Club have been unbelievable for us. The Jockey Club has not got the same connotation as the Jockey Club in South Africa. It's a different thing altogether. Serious people, serious about racing, 14 tracks. They don't control racing at all. So they're not the governing body in that sense. But to be a member of the Jockey Club in this country is almost as great as being royalty. They do not pay us to sponsor wonderful races. They do not pay us to provide wonderful, lavish functions. They pay us to get a return. out of what we do, and we will get a return out of what we do. And Poundland will find it exactly the same. Poundland have got a staggering, I think, 1,200 stores across the country, growing to 2,000. And Poundland are going to make sure that this works for them, and they're going to use the hill across over there, where it's absolutely packed now, but it's going to be more packed. You can go all the way up and all the way around, and that's what they will do. Why? Because it creates loyalty. Why? Because it brings more people into their shops every year. And that's why we do these things. But I happen to be a lover, as you well know, and I mean, the biggest tragedy today was the result of this derby. I mean, poor Marwa, they've just given away as a stallion for the jumps. Now a son of poor Marwa comes along and wins a derby. So thank you very much, and thanks to your executive and Rion and all of them for allowing this. You guys give us incredible support. And of course, without South Africa watching, it is a hollow victory for me. So thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Marcus, there are some days that you are there and there are some days that you're not there, whether it's Wagner for Joey Soma or Edict of Nantes for whoever. Special days don't come around like this too often, to be a participant in the Investec Derby.
Look, Andrew, this is something that you can only describe as a fairy tale. The Derby became part of our lives because of Bernard and Investec, and I think a lot of South Africans were exposed to the Derby by being invited, like both of us, coming here with Bernard and becoming like this sort of feels for us like a South African event, if you think about it, because of Investec and the show that they put up here. So over the years, the dream did develop that why can't we have a runner in the Derby? So we started about 3 years ago, Bernard and I, to co-invest with the Coolmore team. And I mean, they've been absolutely fantastic. You know, they are the #1 race organization in the world. And the way that they've let us into their circle is just absolute evidence of what fantastic racing people they are. John Magnier, you know, what can one say? I mean, it's just racing would have not been the same if it was not for that family and what they've done. So for us to have come here today and have never mind one runner, 2 runners in the Derby, and then at the end see that colours of South Africa representing all of us here and setting the pace. And the plan nearly worked because, you know, we ran second. The other horse is also Coolmore, so great for Derek and Michael Taverer and John Magnier. So it's just a fairy tale, Andrew, and to be part of this for us as South Africans is so phenomenal. And if it wasn't for Investec Bank that came from that small business in the south of Johannesburg, to be here part of this fantastic day, it is just a huge accolade, and especially to Bernard, because this was his vision, and what he's done here is something that we all as South Africans can be very proud of.
Well, it's been an incredible week here at Epsom, and we thank you very much indeed, one and all, for joining us on this roller coaster ride of emotions and sheer grandeur. We look forward to bringing you every inch of coverage in the 2018 edition. Hopefully Breakfast of the Stars, all the build-up races, help from Simon Holt, help, of course, from Mike Cattermole. And our sincere thanks go to Bernard Cantor and his entire team for affording us this privilege of covering the Investec Derby Festival 2017. I'm Andrew Bond, reporting from Epsom.
3-line abreast, they race the line. Tullius! The old boy might just have lifted the diamond.